Good morning and welcome to the Thought for the Day for Tuesday the 26th of July. The reading today is Psalm 133 and it's very short. How good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. It's like precious oil poured on the head, running down on the beard, running down on Aaron's beard, down on the collar of his robe. It is as if the dew of Hermon were falling on Mount Zion, for there the Lord bestows his blessing, even life forevermore. This is one of the Songs of Ascents, a collection of 15 psalms, all full of hope, which had a special significance for the Jewish people worshipping together, especially at certain feasts. The word for ascent in Hebrew also means step or stair. There's a feeling of a gradual journey upwards, physically and spiritually. And this psalm is the penultimate one. They're nearly there. In the Catholic Church on certain days, this psalm is sung as part of Compline, or the night prayer, the last prayer of the day. The Songs of Ascents are also sometimes called pilgrim songs. Pilgrimage was very important to Christians for various reasons until it was suppressed during the Reformation. But it has seen a resurgence in recent years. BenBinFro, part of a chain of churches between Canterbury and Winchester, on the Pilgrim's Way, stretching out like a string of pearls. And just this week we've had people visit from Germany, Switzerland and the USA. Pilgrims on the routes to Santiago de Compostela have been increasing by 10% a year. Why? There are many reasons, but there is a consensus that getting there is transformational and life-changing. No one is unchanged as a result of going on pilgrimage. A couple of weeks ago, we welcomed a group of 150 pilgrims walking to Winchester, organised by Refugee Tales, an organisation campaigning against the poor treatment of refugees in detention in this country. There were people from all walks of life, including some who were refugees themselves, giving moving testimonies of the gratitude they felt for the solidarity and support given to them, which made them feel they belonged. There was a feeling of togetherness, of a common aim, and that people cared, a real feeling of hope. It is this unity which David is describing in the psalm, but a special type of unity, that among God's people, believers. This isn't just about church, it's living and dwelling in unity. David goes on to describe how it feels when it's achieved, the goal we should all be aiming for. It makes me think of the pilgrims setting out on their 500-mile walk, or however long it might be, and what motivates them and how they feel along the way, one step at a time, focusing on getting to the end, hopeful, and how wonderful it must feel to get there, pure joy. I've been involved in trying to get a publication finished for over 10 years now. If you've ever tried to produce a book by committee, or anything by committee, you'll know how difficult it can be. There have been disagreements and hurt feelings, people have fallen by the wayside. It's been quite stressful, and at one time there was no hope of it ever coming to fruition. I've learnt a lot through the process, but the main reason it's finally about to go to the printers is that ultimately everyone involved wants it to be published. Apart from a lot of prayer, I had a mantra I kept returning to: eyes on the prize. Just think about the end result and that we have to find a way to get there. And that's what I think this psalm is describing: the prize, the precious oil running down the beard of Aaron, the high priest, in such abundance that it falls onto his collar. This isn't just oil you might use to moisturise dry skin, but it's the precious oil used for anointing, with the suggestion of a reference to Jesus Christ, the Anointed One. Then there's a reference to the life-giving water from the dew of Mount Hermon, from a soft mist which condenses moisture, reviving and refreshing and filling its springs, flowing down onto the dry, hot hills, blessing the land. It's no coincidence that both these descriptions involve something wonderful coming down from above. And just in case we don't get it, it's spelt out in the last words of this psalm: even life forevermore. Our ultimate aim. So if we know how wonderful it can feel to be united with a common aim, why do we find it so difficult? We are all different and have different opinions, and we all want to be listened to. Paul helps us in Ephesians 4, 2-6. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to one hope when you were called. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. So if there's anyone you don't agree with today, I pray that you can celebrate the differences with love and respect. And remember, eyes on the prize. Have a great day.